Hello and welcome to Transformation Now. Hi, I'm Rita Rocker-Kraft with SoaringHigher.Rocks and always here to help with every kind of self-image, communication skills, professional image, business development, and career development. And so today I'm going to continue towards the end of the program with my book, Shaping Your Future, Become the Brand Everyone Wants. And so these are things that will be very helpful to you personally, actually, as well as professionally. So again, we're going to talk today about recreating your life from unpredictability to consistency. And to get a more consistent lifestyle when maybe some of our lives, and I've been going through something really bad lately, and so thinking, okay, this has been very unpredictable, but now start making the steps for a very consistent lifestyle, one that is rewarding, one that is really beneficial for friendships, relationships, and especially with your career. So I'll be talking about that today. And so one of the questions that I briefly touched on before, but want to mention again, is if I were viewing myself from another person's perspective, okay, when they're talking to me, when they're watching me, would I want to have me as a manager, client, business partner, or friend? Okay, so when you think of what do you like in a manager, if you were a manager or you want to be, and that could, or even think of a teacher in a way, managing children. So manager doesn't just necessarily mean in the corporate world or industrial world or whatever. A manager is looking over managing jobs, people, projects, etc. So you think, well, would I want to have me for a manager? Or, well, not really, because sometimes I kind of fly off the handle, or I allow people to intimidate me, or all kinds of things. So would I want to be my own manager? Because a lot of times if we just stop and think of what we really like in a manager, the head of a project, whatever the case may be, are we exhibiting the same kind of characteristics? So stop and think about that, because a lot of times we'll find something that we actually would like to change. And that, or you think of as a client, would I want me as a client? Am I an agreeable client? Am I someone who will work with them, who will offer questions, resolution to issues? Or I'm just a very demanding, impatient client? Am I one who also jumps in there and works with the company? So just think, a lot of clients are just awesome, and they will work very cooperatively with a company, with a customer service rep, whatever. And then there are other clients who are really so nice and are very demanding. So think about how you respond to clients. Okay, another one is as a business partner. If you're in business with someone else or you want to be, think, well, am I helpful? Am I thoughtful? Am I scatterbrained? Am I sneaky? Am I fair? So as far as a business partner, do I go the extra mile with my business partner? Do I work as a team and hold my ground when I need to, but also be cooperative with that person? There's a lot of times business partners have problems because one takes too much control, or maybe too much of the money, or whatever the case may be. So just think, am I or would I be a good business partner? Now, I'll also say that for a family partner, something like that, and a personal partner, there's a lot of give and take in that as well. And how about a friend? Am I a considerate friend? Am I a helpful friend? Do I sometimes maybe give a little bit of constructive criticism to a friend in a good way if I see them maybe trailing off into some bad habits again? So think, would I want me as a friend, or would I be offended by me? Would I really want to come to that friend and talk to them and have confidence with them? So think about that too. What would I do? And then why or why not? Why would I want to be that kind of a manager, or what do I want to change in a friend, in a partner, whatever the case may be? Would my appearance, manner, speech, and behaviors exhibit the kind of characteristics that would prompt me to want a personal or business relationship with that person? There again, with appearance. I know people that, well, I'm working from home now, so I'm just getting rid of my whole wardrobe, and all I'm going to do is live in sweats. Well, how about when you want to get out and you want to do something and you want to be around people that would be enjoyable, where you'd learn new things? So think about the appearance too. A lot of times in the workforce, people are letting their appearances kind of go that way. And then when clients come in or other people come in, it's like, I'm not sure I want to do business with this company or with this person, because if they don't take any better care of themselves than that, would they take care of me, my business, my projects, my finances? So think about that too. My manner. Now that only doesn't mean just manners, which are extremely important, but just the manner in which I do things. So think about that. My speech patterns and behaviors. Am I speaking intelligently? I know a lot of times we use slang when with our friends and stuff, and that's fine. But how are my speech patterns? Are they strong? Are they really quiet and like, oh gosh, I'm scared to say anything? Because then people can run all over us if that happens. What kind of behaviors do I exhibit to other people? And that could mean sometimes if I see somebody who's maybe a little too strong, a little too boisterous, maybe even has some bully tendencies, is that when I'm just going to kind of cower down like this? No, that's when I'm going to lift my chin up, throw my shoulders back, and speak directly to the eye to that person. So think about things like that as well in the behaviors that you want to exhibit, and behaviors that are strong, that are positive, that are motivated. Because sometimes when people go out and they party or they go to dinner or they go to the bar or wherever they're going, sometimes they'll run into someone in the business world that they know. And whoever's in that business world is going to be watching what kind of behaviors they are exhibiting. A lot of times when someone is looking for a job, and I knew someone again personally recently who wanted to do something on a part-time basis, and she couldn't figure out why they weren't contacting her when I had asked this certain person that I work with, have you talked to her yet? Well, because actually I knew what it was. I wasn't going to tell her. Her Facebook posts and some of her other postings were very hostile, very political, to a very hateful way. And so if people have things on their Facebook, their Instagram, their Snapchat, whatever they're on, that are very negative, or it shows that they're always out partying and they're holding up a beer and they're drunk and things like that, no matter how professional they act in an interview or when they're doing business with other people, I guarantee you a lot of people are looking at others' profiles to see how do they really live? What's their life really like? So we really have to be careful in that respect. That's very important. So in recreating our life from unpredictability to consistency, a lot of times, again, it's forming new habits. Now, because of something really traumatic I've been through the last few weeks, I'm in that same area again of forming new habits again. And that's okay. We can do that. We can stand up. We can go forward and create. Now's the time again for creation, that new lifestyle that we want. When we think of the metamorphosis with the butterfly, one of my favorite visuals, how the little caterpillar looks like, and it's kind of ugly and is moseying along. But right before that process of metamorphosis, that caterpillar literally inside turns into a black goo like tar. And so it's just a bunch of goo inside. And you think, well, how can anything come out of that, especially something so beautiful? Well, there's a lining underneath the outer shell that literally has the start of wings, of the little feelers, of every part of the butterfly. And so this goo eventually keeps working and working to start creating the little legs, the little feelers, the wings, and all of that. And who'd have thought with this messy pile of goo that could happen? But during that struggle, and it is a struggle to get out of that, but we go through that. We allow ourselves to go through that to build up strong wings, beauty, and a whole new life. So think about that if you're maybe going through a time of struggle right now, that what's coming out on the other side as you allow yourself to go through those steps, even though they might be hard, you're going to see a phenomenal outcome. So hang in there and keep going. Don't stop. Look forward. So forming new habits, can you resolve to see yourself? You have to see yourself. And it's even like, well, how can I see myself this way? How can I see myself driving a nice car? How can I see myself in my own nice little place? How can I see myself in a job that I'd really love, but maybe I don't have enough education compared to other people? Don't worry about the how. Just keep seeing that in your mind. You know, maybe before you get out of bed in the morning, you can stop and you can visualize seeing yourself more confident, seeing yourself living in a home that you would like. Again, we have to be reasonable and doing these things. Seeing yourself, maybe being a sales rep of the month or the year, even though you might be a little nervous about talking to people, as a sales rep. So think about those things, because then pretty soon our mind can't even think of that other negative anymore, because we're so focused on seeing ourselves that way. It does become natural. That's how all kinds of people in sports and all kinds of heroes made it through, is because they visualized doing it so much that it just became natural to their mind and to their body. So being more confident, being healthier, okay, that means letting go of some of the maybe junk food that was comforting during our time of trouble, in a flourishing new relationship with someone who would be kind and treat you well. And that works both ways, obviously. Financially stronger. You start thinking of ways maybe to create a little bit of extra income, but to be successful and do those things that you really like to do. You know, sometimes we think, well, I'm just going to have to settle for this, minimum wage job all my life because that's how I grew up, that's how my family was. Well, hey, I understand that personally. But the thing is, when we see ourselves as financially stronger, we can really, really start taking steps that way. We become interested in finance or accounting or in the type of career that go, yeah, I really like that. It makes me shine. When I talk to people who are doing something or thinking of doing something that really is meant for them, they shine. My friend's grandson, who's he's 17 right now, but he's working with a real estate company, getting all prepared, so at 18, then he can start working on his real estate license. But when I talked to him personally, he lit up like a Christmas tree. I could not believe it. And I said, you know what? That's exactly where you belong. Because look at you. Look at your face. Look at your energy. I can tell this is the career for you. And so you want to be able to feel that way too. And if something that you're not doing right now, because you don't think you can get there, or that's what parents or teachers or someone said you should do, but every time you think about it, you light up inside, you feel great, it makes you happy. That's the kind of area that you want to pursue and go into. And start looking online, seeing what other people are doing, watching videos, things that will help you head in that direction. So I would ask that you could do that for 21 days, that you could really every day spend some few minutes. And if it's crazy around house or work, sometimes you have to do it in the morning or do it in the bathroom, sit in the car, wherever it is, and think about that for 21 days. And it will start truly impacting your life, your thoughts, your behaviors, probably your relationships as well by then. So write out a minimum of possibly 5 habits that will be most beneficial for you to change to usher in the life you want. It could be trying to go get some exercise somewhere. It could be throwing out all the chips and chocolate and everything in the house to try to get more energy from healthy foods instead of being all tired from sugar, which I know that one real well. Think about other habits to change. Maybe if you always feel disgruntled and sad, I understand that one. Maybe angry at how something happened in your life that changed your life, to deliberately put a smile on your face. So maybe that's a habit of, you know what? When I see people, I'm going to smile at them. And I've been doing that a lot lately, working at that. But even better, when you're looking in the mirror to get ready to go somewhere, smile at yourself. Smile at yourself, seriously. Clothes. Maybe there's some things I can change with my clothes. Brighter colors, things that make me feel better, more confident. And then maybe ask caring questions to others. Because a lot of times when we're having a rough time and things aren't going very well, we seem to be all wrapped up in ourselves. And some people, that's all they want to do is talk about all of their problems. And so that's the time really to start reaching out and asking caring questions to other people. It pulls them in a good way and helps you to kind of get the mind off of what's going there and reach out to others. So I would really recommend start asking caring questions to other people as well. So then the positive mental attitude and our personalities, there are a lot of things. I'm just going to glance over here. Some of the traits that destroy a pleasing personality. So I'm going to just go ahead and cover these few in my book right quick. Interrupting. How many times have you known someone who maybe no matter what the conversation was, they were constantly interrupting what you were saying? And sometimes not even to give their next thought on that topic, but to come up, interrupt, and just right in the middle of a sentence that you're saying, and then talk about something completely different. Yeah, that one's even harder than somebody who's interrupting to keep talking about the same topic. And so like winning etiquette says about 40% of the time we should actually speak, and 60% of the time we should actually be listening. When we interrupt, we're giving the message that ours is the only opinion that matters. It also shows that we are not listening, but wanting only to interject our own thoughts. And a lot of times that will push people away from us because they give up trying to really talk to us and have a good conversation. Unnecessary pessimism, skepticism, or distrust. A combination of having the right facts as well as sensitivity towards the person, the situation, everyone involved, goes a tremendously long way for the most positive relationship. So yes, we want true facts, and we also want sensitivity in this for all people involved. Self-important, prideful, or egocentric behavior. Okay, we all know people like that. And quite often they're that way because deep down underneath inside, they don't feel like they're worthy or they're good enough. And so they put on more of a self-important, prideful, or egocentric, behavior than what they truly are. But this is what they have to do to fight, being up front, competing with everybody else. And so a lot of times, though, it will destroy relationships. So building others up actually builds you up in their eyes. So when you build up someone else, it's not that you don't have any self-respect, self-esteem, but what you're doing is showing genuine care and concern for others, and that'll actually build you up in their eyes, not make you look weak, for instance. Even if we don't agree with someone, which is happening a lot nowadays especially, we must show genuine care and concern for other people's thoughts and feelings. Say, yes, that would be a great idea, except for, and then give the reason why. Not just say, oh no, that's stupid. No, you give a reason why something won't work and make it a legitimate, fact-filled reason. Another one is false flattery. A lot of times people will dupe someone into being their partner, whether it's in business or personal, or wanting to get someone in as a new client, whatever the case may be. And so it's false flattery. Well, the attempt to flatter, especially when it's not really deserved, may be interpreted by some as manipulation, because that's exactly what it is. People love sincere compliments. So compliments need to be followed by what it is, whether it's a person has beautiful eyes, maybe this is the best cake you've ever eaten, but something that is sincere. A person of strength also appreciates constructive critique, when it helps them to learn and grow to the next level. Okay, most individuals know in their gut If they are receiving manipulative comments that are sincere, deserved kudos. So we always want to be careful with what we're saying, because people usually can tell. Now, some people would love to have flattering words even if they're not true, but that's also a way that people get manipulated into doing things or being a certain way that they really shouldn't be. So always think about, can you tell if this is really a true, considerate, sincere comment or not? Negative attitudes that find fault with the world in general and interject negative comments into most conversations discover their circle of friends and business associates keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that is so true. It's important to deal with disapproving issues with strong positive actions and offer constructive suggestions. So again, when somebody wants to argue and find fault with other people, deep down inside it's because that's the only way they think they can be the important one. But really what happens is they end up where family and friends and business associates will turn around and go the other direction. Confrontational or argumentative behaviors for the sake of always having the upper hand can be damaging to one's reputation. So we always want to think about that as well. And alpha males and females are people tending to assume a dominant or domineering role to always have the upper hand. Now, I remember when I talk to people about shaking hands, and I say a lot of times salespeople in certain industries are taught to take someone's hand and then turn it like this, so the person's hand is underneath. So they have the upper hand. And that's silent, psychological, like I have the upper hand, so listen to me. So I've always told people, turn your hand straight up and continue to shake their hand and show them that you are on equal footing with them. They do not have the upper hand over you, and it's totally silent. You don't have to say a word to do that. But another one is giving unwelcome advice that is intrusive or appears controlling will often, although not always, create negative feelings. So sometimes someone wants to get in there and just start, pushing away at someone. Oh, that's silly. That looks terrible. Why did you do this? That was stupid. People talk like that a lot of times. So always think of, is this welcome advice? Is it helpful advice? Is it something just, again, to make the person think they look better than they really are? So, when I've dealt with that through the years, as we all do, but I grew to the point where, okay, this person said such and such to me, like I wasn't sounding very professional over the phone, and I thought, you know what, she's right. I started listening to myself and went, oh dear. So then I learned very quickly to conduct myself much differently over the phone, especially in the business world, but both, because I took that constructive criticism to heart. Then there are other times people can be destructive in their criticism, and that's when we go, nope, I'm throwing that one out, and that's their problem, not mine. Another one is be open to others' creativity. Sometimes if we create a project, we start something, we start a company or a business, and then other people come along and they're working with us, they may have a super duper idea of how to make something better, faster, stronger, whatever the case may be. But since that was our baby, a lot of times we don't want someone to get above us. And so we go, nope, we're not going to do that. But the way we grow, the way our businesses grow, is when we will actually let somebody take the reins and go, hey, you know what? That's really good. And then allow people to take control of certain things if they've shown you that it actually makes your company better, makes your relationships better, whatever the case may be. And sometimes that means swallowing pride. Okay, be open for others' creativity, and then sharing and caring. Again, we always want to share and care what's going on in other people's lives, because no matter how rational they are, no matter how numbers-oriented they are, whatever the case may be, deep down inside, people are still led not only by the bottom line, but there's emotions going on inside that you can hit in a good way when you have someone maybe that's a little bit difficult to work with. So just quickly, a couple more is envy. When we see others achieving a level of success that we still haven't achieved, sometimes that makes us resentful, envious, jealous, whatever the case may be. And the way to show that you are stronger and more powerful is because you rejoice with them. So rejoice with them in their successes, and then as you do this, you grow stronger, and they will rejoice with you in yours. And the last one is negative silent signals. So always think, what is your body language saying? Are you showing happiness by smile, open hands, or are you saying nice things but your body's all closed up? Because that makes a huge difference. Like I've said just about every program, watch people's body language and make sure what they're saying is matched by what they're doing. That's so important. So thank you, and I will continue on with this the next program. So have an awesome day. Sit down and with a pad and a pen and start really enjoying all the different thoughts that come to your mind that will help you grow. Bye.